What is up, everybody? This is Merc with the Mic, and this is the MorphinCast by Revist. I'm Merc the Mic. I'm joined by Tenacious T.
I am always here. Always.
And we're back. We're back for another MorphinCast. We are reviewing, or revisiting, pretty much, Power Rangers S.P.D.
I like revisiting instead of reviewing because
we did already.
This is now my second time around. I don't know how many times you've seen this show.
This would be my fourth time going through
Fourth time? This is my second time, so instead of going through it with fresh eyes, I'm going through it now with the whole history of what we've went through.
Yeah. And
simultaneously watching with Super Sentai, that now I have a different view and I'm looking for different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I appreciate it for what it is now.
So, revisiting. So, you know what? But I'm going to probably retitle everything as a revisit of the ones we've been reviewing. Is a revisit and not just a review. Because we are revisiting in kind of familiar eyes with these, just like a second showing and things like that. This is not the first time anymore. This is like you had your experience through all the seasons already. Now you're going through it again. Yeah. And some of them were very dreadful this time around.
So some of them has been chores, you know what I mean? Yeah. But some also, don't get me wrong, there has been things that I didn't catch in the first time around that I thought was amazing, and then going through it, I'm like, maybe it's not as compared to what we've seen. Yeah. Especially since now we're getting spoiled with
the Sentai.
Yeah.
So this is, I'll say this is one season I'm very scared of the Sentai.
This, I agree, 1,000%. Which Sentai has made bad seasons from America make it so good, like
so like there's things. All right, so these are seasons of Sentai I'm looking forward to because I hated the American one. Yeah, Operation Overdrive. I think what I've seen from the Sentai, it looks 100 times better, and it's actually reviewed as one of the best seasons.
It's Operation Overdrive to me is the absolute worst.
Yeah. Mystic Force.
Mystic Force, I know is going to be badass just because of the design of the monsters and everybody.
That and so remember when I was telling you I was going through the Gokier Sentai, the pirate one, and the episode that dealt with Mystic Force shit. That was like actually one of my favorite episodes there. So I saw some like little hints of it, and I'm like, that watching that series, I think when I was just going through it ahead of time, just fucking watching it just for the hell of it, I stopped it because I was really enjoying it. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to fucking spoil the rest of it because there are characters I'm seeing that I have not met yet. Yeah. Through the Sentais, because we are going through the Sentais. Remember, that one's like all the way Super Mega Force, so that's maybe 10 more seasons going there.
Well, see, like...
No, like eight more seasons.
Sentai made the American bad ones so much, like it made it so much. Like, perfect example would be like Wild Force. Wild Force to me was a mediocre season compared to somewhat epic American ones. No, and then Sentai came in and kicked its ass. You know what I mean? 100%. Like, it was badass. But then Sentai also has a knack for taking my good ones. Yeah. And then putting them to shame. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Time Force Super Sentai one is mind-bogglingly good. You know
and I think that's something that we may have to do, like towards the ending of when we decide to end, like when the last one of the Sentais we do. I guess we have to go through that dreaded which one was the best one. Right now, still to this day, I think Dire Rangers still holds
Dire Rangers,
strong.
And I'm not biased by this. Yeah. I'm going into Sentai with all high expectations of everything. I still have not seen anything that touches Dire Rangers.
You want to know something also that for Dire Ranger I love so much is, like, although as dramatic the ending of the season was, it was probably the funniest shit ever too. Yeah, they all like the future versions.
I mean, it was. I think that. I wish we kind of got that nowadays. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that story alone is just it was amazing. Yeah. And I think there has been maybe 2 other Sentais that are up there with that.
No, there's some really good ones.
And recent ones too. Like, I think the Time Force. The Time Force
was fantastic.
It's like there. It's like top 5.
Wild Force was really good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Time Force was really good. The one we just fought, Alba Ranger, was a pretty solid one as well.
They consistently get better.
Yeah, and
there has been some. There has been some that's they're not bad. It's just not as memorable.
Like it's like Alba Ranger, like the Mexican dinosaur. They're just like hola, hey amigo.
A lot of the side characters worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the villains were a thing. Fucking, we still talk about Zonette all the time. So that's something that always keeps our attention and things.
Well, they stopped exploiting their women.
Oh, but S.P.D got some cuties coming up.
Well, I'm excited for that.
Pretty good.
I definitely am.
So yeah, we are revisiting Power Rangers S.P.D. This is the 4th of Disney.
I think so. I think it's 4th.
Wild Force,
Ninja
Storm,
Dino
Thunder.
Dino Thunder. Okay.
Number 4 of Disney.
Yeah, because Time Force wasn't Disney.
No, it was not. It was like right after. Yeah. So this is number 13 of the Americans. 38 episodes we're gonna have. First episode was the beginning. Last episode was the ending. That's the name of it. It's simple enough.
Yeah, no.
It's the beginning. It's the end. Yeah, there you go. This is also the adaptation of Toshu Sentai Deca Ranger, which we will be reviewing right after this. After this cast, so probably you'll get the cast sometime next month. It aired February 5th to November 14th, 2005, and produced by Disney. The little synopsis of the show is pretty much, here we go.
It's a lot.
Story takes place in the year 2025 after Earth. That's only 4 years from now.
Earth, that's crazy, right?
Earth has welcomed aliens begins to live peacefully with the human race. But peace is short-lived as the planet, conquered by a Torban Empire, and turns into destructive intentions to Earth. When the Earth first lines of defense, the S.P.D. A Squad vanishes without a trace. Like pizza. The protection of the planet falls to the replacements, the B Squad, and their commander, Anubis Kruger. So that's pretty much the
you don't need to go any further.
I don't have to really go that deep into it because it goes into what is a Power Ranger series. So basically, we always get kind of the same thing with the swords and the colorful Rangers and the teenagers. Well, they're not really teenagers; they actually have full-time jobs.
Yeah, well, they're basically like military.
Yeah, 100%.
They're military police.
So we're gonna do our basics like with costumes and things like that, but we're not gonna go full depth into the stories as we used to. Because again, if you want the full review we did, as in that was about an hour and a half long.
Yeah, it was the deserved hour and a half. Because this is one to pay attention to.
Yeah. So this one we're gonna go more of a light revisit, things that we like, things that we missed, things like that, and just how this series feels as in whole, compared to what it did before. So we got our Rangers. We got S.P.D. Red, which was Jack. S.P.D. Blue, Sky. We got S.P.D. Green, Bridge. We got S.P.D. Yellow, Z, and we got S.P.D. Pink, Sid.
So cute.
And then Shadow Ranger, Anubis, Doggy Kruger.
Anubis Kruger.
We got Omega Ranger Sam, which I think that was my most despised because we hate kids and Power Rangers. I hated Sam as a kid.
I have my problems with it and what goes around him, and I'll discuss that later.
Yeah. Cat Ranger, which is Cat Max, which she's pretty much like the gear person as well. She's the one that creates
badass.
I liked her character a lot, and I liked her interactions with like Kruger.
Yeah,
and to calm your ass down.
The fact that he's a dog and she's a cat.
Yeah,
I think that dynamic is cool as shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly. We got the Nova Ranger, which kind of appears in one episode, and then we have the Red Ranger, which was the father of Sky.
Yeah, which that whole story was.
Really
I think that was probably in our episode segment. That is going to be like my favorite.
That was I say
of episodes.
The one thing I will say 100%. It kind of got. I'll say it was better than what Jason and Tommy was. Like you actually had the drama between them two because one became the leader out of nowhere and the other one was trying to earn it.
Yeah.
And then he felt like he should have been the leader. But then you see the trials and tribulations between them two, and then also them actually being friends and learning how to look out for each other. The episode when he gives him the badge to arrest the dude and things like that.
It's like, yo, I got it. Like, this is my time.
That reminded me of when Jason and Tommy were fighting and stuff like that, and they had a fight on the mountain, and he gave him the shield. Gave him the shield and stuff like that. So that kind of gave me like that retro feel of that.
Well, yeah, I mean that's just the classic story. You know what I mean? It's just the two alphas.
Yeah.
You know, headbutting, and then eventually have to come to terms with we can't do it without each other, type of thing.
And then one thing I also liked was each Ranger had. I was interested in each Ranger. Besides Omega, I say he was the weakest.
I could have lived without Omega.
I say he was the weakest of the show. I didn't care for him that much.
The only thing that Omega turned it into, it brought it into a time.
Yeah.
Like there's time travel, which led into our you know, a mixed.
And motherfuckers using unicycles.
You know what I mean? Like how were they going to have a team up with what Dino?
Yeah, Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder.
Yeah.
How are they going to do that?
Yeah.
Omega.
Kinda
that time transfer, him coming in, made that possible.
Yeah, it opens the door for that.
So like I can understand him, but
I'll say he was the weakest of the show. I would have traded him for more Cat.
Yeah, I would have traded him for Boom being, you know what I mean?
Boom,
doing it, but you know what I mean.
But for what the show gave us and for the personality of the Rangers, I actually was interested in most of the Rangers. I liked their building of teamwork. I also liked their building of each other and trusting one another. They got into each other's necks and throats and shit too.
I like the different backgrounds. I like how, you know, what's his face, Jack, and Z. You know, they're from the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so this is like, the way I picture this season is like Judge Dredd, sort of in a way, without the completion of it being a perfect society.
Yeah.
It's more of the underground.
Yeah.
And bleeding in with the up. You know what I mean? It's like
like Demolition Man more.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Demolition Man, yeah.
Yeah, Demolition Man with Edgar Friendly.
Without the Taco Bell.
Yeah, but like think of that world that bled up. Think of after he unfroze and everything changed, how society probably would have been. Like that's the way I was picturing it, because this is futuristic.
Yeah.
This is definitely not their thought of what the future would be is definitely not what the future is now.
No.
You know what I mean? We're talking 4 years from now.
Where's this giant dog building I want to see?
You know what I mean? But like the aspect of them being street added like a good dynamic to it, because all the other ones, we're talking Sky, we're talking Bridge, we're talking Sid.
Yeah.
They were
trained.
Yeah, they are military police that were trying to rise up when they're kind of like the misfits. They're like the little rascals of these Rangers, because the A squad is like the one all.
Yeah. So they were still like they're still training. They were still like in the midst of training and stuff like that. That they were still like they were not just graduating just yet. They were just right there, and then A squad disappears. Bridge figures out that there was something wrong with them, and that's something early in the beginning. Yeah. That actually brings up to the last episode too, when he tells them like he felt something wrong when they fucking left.
Yeah, but he had that ability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's something that I like to bring up. Like he had powers.
Yeah. No, but he had intuition.
Yeah.
He could touch something and sense something, where all the other ones, like Jack, he was
Shadowcat.
Yeah, he was instincts. He was gut, you know what I mean?
No, but he had powers.
Sky was textbook.
No, he had powers too. Jack was like Shadowcat. He could go through walls.
Oh yeah, but they didn't really utilize that like that. You know what I mean?
Z
had power strength. Like
Z was she had multiple clones.
Okay, I'm getting
Sid was power.
Messed up.
Sid was power. She was strong.
But she looked so good while she did it. Yeah. I don't know. She's so hot.
Yeah, she was strong, and then Sky, I forgot what Sky's was.
Sky's just textbook.
Yeah,
he didn't need all that. Like he's from a line of that. Yeah. His father was the original Red Ranger. You know what I mean? So like to him, that gave him the story of like this is legacy.
Yeah.
That he's fighting. He's not fighting Rangers. He's fighting his legacy and trying to fulfill his father's shoes, which his father died in combat. Yeah. So all he wanted to do was make his father's memory proud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and then you got these two street rats that come out, which, you know, rightfully so is I would say a good good name for it for them. You know what I mean? They were just people that were out there scavenging for the less fortunate.
Yeah.
You know, so they were robbing and stealing. They were Robin Hoods of their time.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Helping out them.
And they got caught up in the mix, and then Kruger saw something in them.
Yeah.
Was like, all right, we need these. Maybe we need that street aspect to make this squad a little bit better, because the A Squad's out doing an important mission. Yeah, you remember the mission the A Squad was on?
So A Squad was pretty much, it was an outside of the mission. I think they all went on a spaceship and suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, they disappeared on their mission, but I forget what their mission was.
I think they actually have it on the.
You know what I mean? Like I was trying to look that up as we were talking, but
yeah, the A Squad, when they disappeared, I liked. So
it's because of the Empire.
Empire.
That Empire, like in Star Wars or something.
I liked Kruger a lot as a mentor, and I think he's hands down probably one of the best mentors.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
My gripe with him though is that now as you watch the show and you don't really dive too much into his background in the beginning or into the middle. It's like towards like.
Yeah, you start
halfway to the end, to the middle, to the end. You find more about what is making him tick, and his wife was in his head, killed and stuff like that. But the problem is, like, he never even tried to wonder if she was still alive.
Nah,
you know what I mean? It really pissed me off a little bit.
Like,
you just gave up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, and then all of a sudden, like. How long? She was gone for like 20 years.
Yeah. So I guess it was like, I remember clearly it was the Grum episode with him and Grum. And this is when Grum told him that she's still alive.
Yeah.
As in, he pretty much thought he saw her die. Like, pretty much, and that was his mentality. They actually go into it in the comic books a little bit too. It goes into the one with the Tommy's son. They kind of go into Kruger when he was they kind of go to his story, and then Sky became his position. So basically, Sky was talking about his mentor and things like that, and then they kind of went into that.
Yeah, that was the one thing with Kruger that really just bugged the crap out of me. And his wife was ugly too.
Yeah, that's probably why. He was like,
she was a dog.
It's like, now she's alive, I guess.
Yeah, let me fight for her. You know what I mean? Like that was the only thing. Like everything else with him, like. He's military, so he followed orders. Yeah. So when General Birdie comes in, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't have a choice but to follow it because that's what he's programmed to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, straight up, probably the best mentor.
Yeah, I'll say one of the best, 100%. Him and RJ, like, right there.
I can't wait for RJ, because RJ was dope.
But yeah, I like Nimbus a lot. Then when he became the Shadow Ranger. Shadow Ranger is probably the most badass fucking Ranger.
And he looks super dope,
and then
too.
Just the scenes he had were fucking dope.
I'm interested to see where the Sentai goes with him.
He's fuzzy in Sentai.
I know, he looks like... He looks like Splinter in the rock one, like the rock band one.
Yeah, he looks like a blue.
He looked like you need a shave, buddy.
Yeah. But I liked him a lot. Kat, I wish we got more of her as a ranger, because I just thought her ranger suit was dope.
Well, she was only like the ranger like one time.
Yeah.
You know,
and I wish we saw her a little bit more.
But her thing was a momentary power.
Yeah.
It wasn't. She wasn't like.
She was like emergency.
Yeah, she was like, all right, this is like a one-time only thing. Yeah. It's like it's the hotline. It's the lifeline call. You know what I mean? Yeah. But and she looked dope.
Yeah, she looked dope. I like the suit.
One of the best characters is Boom.
Boom, yeah.
It's just he highlighted so much because he was Kat's like right hand. You know what I mean? Like he did a lot of stuff. He messed up a lot, but that was the comedic part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the episodes with him and his parents and stuff like that. Like I thought was amazing.
That was a good series. That was really good.
Like he deserved. Like at the end.
Yeah.
He deserved to be. Like a ranger.
He's Kenson Harrison, which we're gonna talk about him a lot because he's usually a highlighted character in a lot of the,
he's in a lot of seasons.
Starting from, I guess was he in Dino Thunder?
No, he was in this.
He was a voice in Dino Thunder.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, physically,
But physically, this was.
And then he goes more and more.
And then he's in a lot of other seasons too. So we'll probably mention him a lot more, especially when we start seeing him show up a lot more, especially now, because the S.P.D. he's in Mystic Force. He's the troll.
Yeah.
That helps them.
See, I like Z a lot. But it's not real. Don't get me wrong. I like her as a ranger and a character and everything like that. But her choices in life afterwards, she has a lot of nudies out there, and that I dove down and looked at.
She's a burlesque dancer.
Well, I like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm into kinky shit. But it was because Maya was the only one.
Yeah.
From Lost Galaxy, Maya, whatever her name was. Like, she was one of the only Rangers that actually I got to see some boobs. You know what I mean? But she has like a whole line of this shit. So I was like, good for you. She's comfortable with herself. That's a confident woman right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a burlesque dancer now. She even does it in the Ranger suit.
Listen, I know I saw it too. And she looks better nowadays than she did back then.
She looks good.
She aged very well. Yeah. But I just had to throw that in
there. She
there.
recently started doing cons again, too. She actually was on something in Pennsylvania, but she was with Jack and Sky.
Do you think she would take offense if I brought her, like, nudie pictures? And was
probably
like,
not, because she probably sells it on her table.
She was, like, under the table. Because there's kids and stuff, you know what I mean?
She probably has it, under the table.
I'd be like, yo, I can sign this.
An extra $10.
Sign this. And put your panties in there. I just went really left.
Yeah, I think the whole Rangers... I think this was probably one of my favorite set of Rangers. I guess... Like, in general, like, I liked all the Rangers.
Their dynamic, their chemistry, their story, everything fit very well. Yeah. This is what you want.
Yeah, 100%. I like the Zords.
I do, but there is a little side of me that made it feel like it was Turbo a little bit.
Well, so the first Zord I think is my favorite.
Like
one
the movie Turbo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the way that Zord was. Kind of, because I was just looking up the pictures like a couple minutes ago.
I like the first one because it reminded me of RoboCop. I 100% thought of RoboCop.
Oh yeah, because it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what's his face from Turbo.
Yeah, Luciferian.
Yeah,
which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because he's from the future. Isn't he from the future? No, he's a space dude, right?
He's a space cop. But it makes sense if it was like the S.P.D. was made off of him kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
So him being I can see it. I liked the Zords. The Omega the Omega Rangers, like, it just became a motorcycle for the fucking Zord, and this made me laugh. I was like, how big the city streets are if you fucking drive it.
I mean, I felt bad when the compound turned in. It's like, where did everybody go? Did they fall sideways inside there? Or?
They go into a chute.
Like sit still. They were in carbonite for like a few minutes.
But I did like the Zords. I actually had no problems with them. I'm actually looking forward to seeing this.
I didn't think of it as bad. It reminded me of Turbo, yeah. Which their Zords wasn't bad, but it was very car-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which you didn't really see them in too often.
No, you did.
Well, not individuals.
Not like a lot.
Like the Pink Rangers in the pink one by herself type of thing.
No. You just saw Jack. Jack was the only one, because then he had his car did the sword thing too.
Well, but they also did the flying one in space when he had when he tried to sacrifice himself and shit, which was an awesome episode too.
Yes, it was.
There's a lot of good handful of episodes in this.
There's a lot of good stuff in the series, and I even liked the ending and a lot of the stuff that's going on in this series. So I really like this one a lot. So the Rangers, 100%. This was like an A+ with the Rangers. Like, the Rangers were fun.
This is exactly what you want.
I'll say again, my only gripe was Omega, but I don't think Omega was that bad.
See, my problem with Omega is he came in so cocky.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this by myself because I'm from the future. You should already know what the fuck's gonna happen. 1, because it's already set in time. You're not really changing shit. 2, you needed a lot of help, buddy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then where the fuck was Nova?
Yeah.
Why didn't Nova? And now Nova was the female Omega Ranger from the future as well. And then she came in to save his ass for one time. He was a beam of light. He was a ball of light. He was an orb.
Yeah.
For a little bit. That bugged the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was that little shit fucking kid. We don't like kids at all in the shows. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, It's just they just don't orchestrate them well. In Sentai, Sentai's another story. These kids are like full blown adults sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, but I didn't really care for his voice. It was very harmonic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they tried to make him like he was an elevated being.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for that because in all reality, he's only like 10 years into the future.
Yeah.
15 years into the future. Why would that be so much more advanced? It just does. It didn't really make sense. I liked his suit.
Yeah, the suit.
His suit looked cool. His cycle was alright.
The unicycle.
Yeah, the unicycle was alright.
Decided, like, you know what we need? A fucking unicycle.
And you don't even see his face. I wanted to see what he looked like.
You saw in the end.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was him because when he went to the Nova Ranger, he actually saw his face.
Oh well.
It was him and Nova Ranger.
At that time, I was just so frustrated with his ass. Because it's like, yo, you talked all this shit and you couldn't back it up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You see him in the end.
But Nova looked dope.
Nova looked dope.
You know what I mean? Like, I felt like the side characters had some really good suits.
A-Squad looked dope.
A-Squad is badass, bro. And the fact that there was a female Red Ranger, which is the first.
Yep. And it had the space helmets.
Which is super dope because you can reuse it. Like, you're reusing great past, like it was a nod to one of the great seasons.
The only thing is they painted one of them because there was a Green Ranger, not a Black Ranger.
Now, you think space is in this same universe, or is it? You feel like
I think it's the past.
It's the past, like they elevated even more.
Yeah. Because
because space was actually still in our time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. Yeah, the greatest part about space is that we killed motherfucking Zordon.
Yeah.
Little piece of shit.
I think that's why it's high up there.
Yeah, so all right, so that was the past, and then the future.
Yeah,
brought that up, and their suits got advanced more and more.
Yeah. I did like Piggy a lot, and I think that's one of the highlights. Piggy, he made me laugh.
He was just a businessman, bro, and he just was like. I feel like I would have been Piggy in this universe. You know what I mean? Like I would have been hustling my ass off. I had a food truck. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
You know, and they. But he was like a CI, you know what I mean? He was a
investigate. Yeah. They used him for information.
Exactly, but he didn't want that shit. He was just like, I know I'm gonna be vaporized.
He's like, just get out my.
It's like Grum's gonna vaporize me.
Yeah.
The Power Rangers are gonna vaporize me. I'm gonna be vaporized. So who do I team up with?
Exactly.
He got forced into it. I don't blame him for shit. He just was a businessman, and he provided the service. Everybody, he always had crowds around.
Yeah.
So and he single-handedly saved the fucking day.
Yeah, he did.
Many times.
Yeah.
So, he deserves a figure. I'd buy his figure.
I'll buy Piggy 100%.
And we know Hasbro listens to us.
Because there's too many of them now.
There's too many coincidences.
If you're gonna listen now, stop.
of the things that we say in this cast.
Yeah.
Which I would be flattered.
Yeah. Exactly. Send us some figures. Send us a figure and I'll be happy. Just one. Anyway. Let's go villains.
Yeah.
So we got the Turbine Empire and Emperor Grum. We have Mora, then Morgana. She becomes older later on. Broodwing, which he tried to fucking double cross everybody.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I liked him. I liked him for that, though.
Yeah.
He was like a Cliptor, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was just like that. He had no real allegiance, but he had to do what he had to do. You know what I mean?
Mirlock's character I liked a lot, and that was the person that responsible for the death of Sky's father. That character. That
oh my god,
really
that was so good. He was just, his main thing was he just wanted people's memories so he can utilize it against them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he can go and blip out with it.
Yep.
But I will tell you this, Morgana is probably my favorite kid.
Yeah.
She was
good.
Like, her with that doll was some real creepy shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was really disturbing.
Yeah.
If I was a child, if I was 5, 6 years old and I saw that,
yeah.
I'd be freaked the fuck out. I loved her because, like, she was an older woman who just wanted to be a kid.
Yeah.
So Emperor Grum granted her that wish of being a kid, and she drew up the monsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she was the finster in this and tried to help out.
Yeah.
And she just wanted to be a kid so she can have her innocence. And then as a punishment, he brought her back to being like an older woman.
Yeah.
Which was, a fucking 20-year-old?
Yeah.
And she was hot. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have minded, but it's the fact of you being able to go back to being a kid again.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. She's the only kid that I like.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't a kid. She was an older person who became a kid.
And then later on, we got the A Squad. A lot of being the final villains in this show. Charlie, the Red Ranger.
Which is a girl.
And then the rest of them didn't have names.
Well, because she was a girl. But the thing is with her is like, I kind of connected with that because my mother, her name was Charlotte. Okay. But her nickname, she called herself Charlie.
Okay.
So everybody knew her as Charlie. So I was like, respect to you, girl.
Yeah, she's the only one that has a name. The rest of them don't have names.
Yeah, because nobody gave a shit about that. I don't even think they spoke.
The other ones were blue, green, yellow, and pink.
Yeah. But I don't think they spoke. Yeah. She should have got a head in that sky package. Yeah. No, I mean, what she did, she wasn't in. Was she in it? Does she have? No, she's getting her solo one coming up.
Yes, she is.
Does she have a head with it? Like a side head?
No, none of them have heads.
Like, I felt like she deserved it.
Yeah, because I think three of them were aliens.
Yeah.
2 of them were human.
Yeah.
So they didn't. No, none of them are coming up with the heads. That's how they're gonna get you. They're gonna get a box set and they're gonna sell the heads.
Fucking hell. we just tallied up how much we have in pre-orders.
I don't even want to talk about that right now. This is gonna make me angry.
But Emperor Grum.
Can we get a Zanaku?
Yeah, please. Oh my God.
Emperor Grum. I'll take Emperor Grum too.
Grum is amazing.
Yeah, he was great. I liked him a lot. I think I liked him a lot more this time around because I was paying attention to him.
Oh my God! Every single time he was on screen, I was.
And there was times he made me laugh.
Well, because he's funny. Yeah. It's like, because you have to have some type of comedicness to it.
But I feel like when the times he made me laugh, it wasn't like, I don't think it was purposely to make you laugh. It was. I think he just. It's
just our sense of humor.
I think his reaction to things just made me laugh.
I just liked it when he was really angry. He lit up and you saw the face inside the skull.
Yeah.
Like you saw his eyes. Like I thought that was genius. I thought that was so good. And he just looked badass. He looked like he was straight out of like Mad Max.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was wearing somebody's skull and chest plate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He looked cool. Like I actually will take a figure of him. I actually really dug him.
I mean, who did we have before that? We had Lothar. Lothar was badass.
Lothar.
We had. Now I'm talking about badass ones. You know,
who was our number one?
Well, we had Lothar and we had who was the Dino Fury?
Dino Thunder?
Dino Thunder.
Mesogog?
Yeah, Mesogog. So we just had 3 consecutive badass. So like, America's killing it with the villain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the main antagonist.
Yeah, from Ninja Storm all the way to here, they had like 3 straight up badass villains.
Because Time Force was whack.
Time Force, I'll give it just because the storyline for it.
Raznik, whatever. He
looked
fucking whack, bro.
He was whack, but the story behind it was better than.
Yeah.
The other dude was more of the dude that tried to kill him, betray him, and shit. He made him into a robot and shit. That was the one. Wild Force, the dude was acting like a troll. Like,
Wild Force, I can live without. So
Zanaku we had there.
Zanaku.
If he was the main villain, then it would be Zanaku, but no, he was not.
I like the Lunar Ranger suit, but that's about it. You know what I mean? And I did like the suits in Wild Force, so I just hated it because it was the first CG. And you go back into our last cast of the first time we went through it,
to revisit,
and the second time.
Yeah,
I remember I was working and I was. Literally, we were talking about it, and then we both listened back, and I said the same shit. Yeah, 100%. Like nothing changed with it. But yeah, Grum is up there. He's with Mesogog and Lothar because we're 3 for 3 right now. Yeah. You know, actually, we're 3 for 4 in the Disney world. Yeah. For villains. Yeah. So right now, Disney's kicking ass. Yeah. When it comes to antagonists.
Yeah. Right now, like as we're going through this, even though I know we're gonna have some of those bad seasons coming up, I think I liked Disney's approach a bit more than Saban.
After
Saban,
after Space, shit went downhill. Yeah. To me, because you had Lost Galaxy, which was
Time Force was the best one on.
Yeah, Time Force, but then you had Operation Overdrive.
That was Disney.
That was Disney?
Yeah.
I mean, no, my bad. One with the trains.
Lightspeed.
Lightspeed Rescue. Yeah. Then you had Wild Force. No, Wild Force is Disney.
Wild Force is Disney. Yeah.
And then Time Force. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like they were right after Space, which was like let's go all in.
Yeah, and then also Turbo.
I like the movie better than the show.
Turbo was season 3 of Power Mighty Morphin was.
That might go down as the worst. Besides like Operation Overdrive.
That's pretty bad there.
Operation Overdrive's bad.
Right now, I think Disney. Like I just like Disney's approach a bit more because going back and just really think about the next seasons we have. The next one I think that I really enjoyed was Jungle Fury.
Yeah. And
that was a badass season as well.
It definitely was.
So, like, we do have 2 mediocre runs, and then it gets Jungle Fury. And then it goes RPM, which I like the storyline a lot. I didn't care for the suits, but I like the storyline a lot.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to see the Sentai of that one.
Me too. I'm very interested.
I feel like that one's going to be, like, really
that one has, like, 4 movies.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And this one had a movie too,
yeah,
right?
This one had a movie too. Yeah. They have a one with Dino Thunder.
Which I would love to eventually go back and watch all the movies and the team ups and stuff like that just to have fun. But would you? I mean, I know what you think, but you obviously we love the suits. Yeah, suits are badass.
Suits I loved. I love the SWAT. I love the SWAT things. I actually liked the vehicles. I liked again, they were cops, so they had the motorcycle.
I even liked their attire when they were just out of the suits.
I do. I will rock that. Like
I would rock that right now. You give me a leather one?
Yeah.
A leather one that looked like that? That shit would be badass. Or like a pleather one?
You're going to chafe like freaking Eddie Murphy.
And listen, I got baby powder and fucking A&D cream on standby. Trust and believe that one. Oh, man.
But yeah. But yeah, I actually really liked the villains. I liked a lot of the Zords. I actually liked the SWAT Zords. I think that they did a good job with this series period, which makes me more excited for the Sentai coming up.
I felt like just the entire society was Time Force with my mind just went blank.
Space.
Yeah, like them together because we got the mutants. Mm-hmm. So the mutants bled into this world.
Yeah. And it had a lot of a good sense of humor. Had a lot of deep episodes that actually got you like really intense. There were ones that, again, like I was saying, between Jack and Sky, they had a lot of story. They had a lot of stories together as well that actually were really good as well, and their friendship evolving as well.
Well, it was important for Jack to go through what he did because. Once he got like the power of the Red Ranger, it's like you gotta listen to what I say. I am Red Ranger.
But you also see the growing pains of everyone, and that's something I liked about too because you actually saw the growing pains. They actually did lose, and they had to get better powers to fucking defeat things.
They had to rely on each other.
Yeah, and that's something I liked about it too because we always talk about like they don't have no sense of loss. The Rangers don't lose. They lost, and they had to go get SWAT powers in order to fucking get back into a lot of the shit.
What I love about Jack a lot is that at the end he gave it all up.
Yeah.
Because he felt like his time there was spent. Yeah. Let me go back to doing what his heart was in. Mm-hmm. Whereas Z stayed.
Yeah,
Z wanted it because she was like, I have more of a purpose.
She had structure.
She needed it. Yeah. But Jack was like, this isn't for me. Yeah. Let me hand it off. I did what I had to do.
And this is the first Rangers. This is the first series of Rangers that they didn't stop being Rangers. They just went on and had different ranks.
Yeah. So it showed the military aspect of it.
So one thing that bothered me, and the fact that like Sky wound up being the Blue Ranger. Sky became the Red Ranger. Bridge became the Blue Ranger. Why is Sid still pink? Why she didn't get a raise? Why she couldn't go to a Green Ranger?
Maybe because they thought the one female that they put in charge turned their back on them. You know what I mean? Charlie fucking turned her back on them. The second you gave the woman a power, you gave her some structure. That's some real Disney shit right there. That's real Disney shit. Yeah, I gotta give a nod to Disney, man. They went really dark in their years.
I like this one too. Is the fact that there's a future of S.P.D, but even when we are visiting the comics, we're actually going to get into a S.P.D that Tommy Oliver's son is in.
Well, because you look in the crossover, they go back in time.
Exactly.
So we're in the Mighty Morphin universe.
Yes.
Which is dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where other things kind of wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
it all bleeds in. It's a multiverse. And if you really want to get technical. Because if the Forever Red episode made everything, together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the big team-ups that will come in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the ultimate battles and shit like that. So, like those episodes of when they went back, I thought were cool because, like, they spoke to them like they knew who they were just from the archives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they were looking at them like, okay, like, who the fuck are you guys? You know what I mean? I thought that was really cool. And the fact that they erased their memory.
Yeah.
And then came back another episode.
Yeah.
And where they're like, we don't know who you are. Oh, yeah, we already whooped ass together.
They Men in Black them.
And then it was only right that they blanked their memory again. And then when Kruger blanked his own memory, bro, I was like, you're the GOAT, bro.
Yeah.
You really are. You're the man.
Yeah, I liked a lot of this. This series, again, like I think this is, like, when we do our countdown on this, I think this is going to take the number one spot. I thoroughly enjoyed this series. I actually enjoyed most of the episodes. I did not feel like this was a chore. And that was the biggest thing, that it's hard going back through these again. And when these start feeling like a chore, this didn't feel that way. I went through this pretty fast.
Yeah, I blew through this like it was nothing.
Yeah.
I've been saving this comment. I didn't want to talk to you about it like in person or anything. I wanted to save it for the cast, but after because Ninja Storm's my shit.
Yeah.
Ninja Storm is such a good show, but S.P.D. did take number one.
Take one.
Yeah, it is what it's about. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it gave you everything that you want in, like, a Power Ranger series.
It was exciting. It was action-packed. The fight scenes looked great. What they used from the Sentai footage was great as well.
And I didn't know that I would even be uttering those words because I was so biased with Ninja Storm. Yeah. And Ninja Storm is good. Don't get me wrong.
Ninja Storm's top 5.
It's fucking Rocket Power Rangers, bro. Like, it's dope. Yeah. It's so good. Lothor, that whole world is so good. But this kind of blows it out the water. Yeah. And that's even harsh to say. Yeah. But it's true.
No, 100%. I agree with that. I feel like there's a lot of memorable episodes in this series.
This battles with Space.
Yeah.
But I think it's better than Space too.
I think my gripe with Space is the fact that I think we only picked that one because the Zordon died.
No, but they're...
No, I'm joking.
But like, the Psychos. Like, you imagine the Psychos in this world?
Yeah, I know. 100, that would be dope.
They would have been epic.
The SWAT versus Psychos.
That's who the SWAT... Because what made A-Team go bad?
Yeah.
Maybe they were the Psychos.
That would have been dope.
Maybe they killed them and the Psychos took them over, like their bodies, their form. Too.
That's a good idea.
You know what I mean? That shit would have been crazy.
So this series
has what's up, motherfucker?
This series has a lot of memorable episodes, and again, I talked about the whole thing with Jack and Sky. All their episodes that they had to, like, coexist to each other and things like that were fun. I liked the one, the stakeout with Sid and Jack, and Sid. She got mad because it was her birthday and shit like that.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that episode. I really enjoyed it.
But that showed you a side of Jack. Like, I didn't even know what fucking birthdays are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you celebrate birthday. He was like the Jehovah Witness.
Yeah.
Of like
he didn't have much.
He didn't have family. He grew up on the streets. He was Aladdin.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, that's really what he was.
I came to like Bridge a lot. Like, he became one of my favorite characters.
He was a very good comedic relief.
Yeah.
Him and Boom were like the serious but not serious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, Sid had quirky moments, and Z was like straight to it. Jack and Sky were definitely alphas.
Yeah.
Beyond it, and they've mentioned that many times. Like. When an alpha meets an alpha, they're gonna butt heads.
And then I think Kruger just was great with them. Like, even in the beginning when he fucking yelled at them and fucking made them do chores.
One of the greatest episodes ever is when he became Shadow Ranger.
The countdown. The
countdown will forever be one of those moments, a countdown moment.
You know, as much as we watch, and a lot of people, like, especially when we were watching at work or something like that, and a lot of people like commenting like that, we always show them that countdown fight scene, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's it."
You know, and when I'm watching it on my tablet and somebody tunes in, like, what are you watching? You watching? I'm like, oh, I'm watching Power Rangers. That's Power Rangers? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, because they think of Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin is the first thing people think about. I'm like, yo, there's many different seasons of Power Rangers, bro. They're actually kind of more popular than ever. You know what I mean? But the series of Shadow Ranger, because it was a 2-part episode. Yeah. He became Shadow Ranger, and then in the next episode, they abused the fact that he was Shadow Ranger. Like, we ain't gotta do nothing. Yeah. We have Doggy. Doggy's like, fuck, you ain't doing shit no more.
You know, also we've got the little robot dog. I like the robot dog a lot.
Yeah. He kind of reminded me of like one of the creatures in the Ninja Turtles cartoon. Yeah. Like, that's what he would have been, like one of the mouses that Baxter Stockman made or something like that. You know what I mean? But I like the old one better than the updated one. The updated one was like, he could make you coffee, he could do I like the old one. I like the fact that they humanized him. Yeah. You know what I mean? They made him like have kind of like a soul, sort of, in a sense, even though he was a program. Yeah. His importance to them, it was like their pet. Yeah. And pets 100%. Are family.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Jack and stuff like that. Learn how to trust him first and things like that. It was cool. Anything dealing with Shadow Ranger, I think a lot of his storylines were good. Like when he, his former partner and things like that. Same thing with, like, you actually saw like a lot of like the personalities, like a lot of the past came into play when it came to a lot of their storylines, especially with Z, and even Bridge had his moments and like had a storyline and stuff like that, and they were actually
Boom with the one episode with his parents.
Boom was fucking great too.
You know what I mean? It was like, you know how when we did the Time Force, like each one was fighting its own flaw kind of thing, like their own, like Wes with his father. Yeah. You know, like stuff like that. This was like them battling who they are and who they will be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it took Sky a while to get over the fact of him not being the Red Ranger.
Yeah, 100%.
And then owned the Blue Ranger, which at the end of it earned his Red Ranger.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's something I actually like, and that was something from the beginning too. Is like, I remember this one clearly because I actually liked what he asked, and pretty much they were doing like their training, and Cougar asked him, if Sid had a lead, would you follow her?
But you know, in the beginning,
that was his straight up response. And then I love the fact in the ending,
there's the same.
He asked
question.
the same thing, and he said yes, 100%.
It was like 1,000%. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I loved it.
But that was growth. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that. And then
it's a rite of passage, and it's a kid show. Yeah. Overall, we are adults watching it. It's a kid show. Yeah. But kids need to be taught that lesson of rite of passage, that you are in a phase, you are in a stage. You don't need to be confined to that. Yeah. You can build, you can grow. And every day is a new day.
And there's something I always say with the Power Rangers, that like not having a sense of loss, and there was a lot in this. Yeah. He did not get what he wanted. He had to earn his way to get to it, and things like that. I love the monkey, the training for the SWAT shit. That always made me laugh, even when we went back the first time.
he was cool. He reminded me of the guy who played Patton. Yeah. In like Full Metal Jacket, that guy. Yeah. Like you are. 100%. He was, and I would have loved it if it was him. Like he did that voice. It would have been so dope.
I liked it when they got the SWAT team, the SWAT suits. I liked the van and things like that. The Zords would look cool and everything like that. I actually liked that power up. This is one of the first seasons I actually liked it. I didn't mind Jack's power up. He kind of got the sword with.
I mean, I'll be honest. I can live without all power ups.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind it because it was not overly
brolic and fucking looking bloated like you're on.
There was one that it was the dog in him, and then there was the other one with the sword and stuff. So he had like two different ones. But I always liked the way they used his gunplay and things like that. His main weapons were guns, and he had to combine them and things like that. Other than that, like again, there's nothing more. This is definitely going to be number one on my list.
I wouldn't say it's flawless 100%, but it's like 90.
I don't think any series is flawless.
Nor should it be.
Yeah. But I think this one, all the things that we describe and things that we want and things that we don't want, I think this season has it a lot.
Yeah, it has an abundance of good.
Yeah.
It's more good than it could ever be bad. And there's really... And that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion is not gold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But on my motherfucking podcast it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because my opinion's right.
Hasbro, we'd like you to finish the S.P.D. Rangers, or have all of them.
Yeah, and stop remaking stuff.
Yeah.
We don't need the same Ranger 30 times, all right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Z.
You can keep bringing out versions of Lord Drakon. I have no problem with that because he's fucking badass. Okay?
We need Z. I think Z is the last one. We need Z.
I would take a 2-pack of Boom as by himself and Boom as an Orange Ranger.
I'll take Boom and Cat.
I'll even take a Nova. Nova looked badass.
Yeah. We need to finish the SPD Rangers. Let's finish
Give me. I was gonna say Cat with the dog.
Yeah.
The robot dog.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
See, because we're getting all the A squad, so that's the reason why we're getting all A squad. We almost got all the Rangers. We were just missing Z. She
keeps showing her boobs.
Z, Nova, and Boom.
And then we haven't even touched. And a Morgana would be dope. It'd be a little girl with the
Grom.
And then it had the little doll with it. Oh my god, the doll would be so dope.
You could get more females because we don't have a lot of females in
it's kind of being biased.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to see more of the figures coming out for Hasbro.
Well, check out because they just dropped the con, Hasbro 2021 con.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. $300 and something in pre-orders yesterday.
That Zed helmet looked dope, though. I'm tempted.
I'm getting it, bro. It looks so good. I've always wanted the Lord Zed helmet.
But I'm holding myself.
I'm doing it. I don't give a shit. That's my birthday present
I'll
to
just
myself.
play with it when I go
That's coming out in March. It's my birthday present
I go to
me.
your place, I'm going to play with it. That's about it.
Well, with the way my figures are set up, my display case,
Yeah.
with my Red Ranger, why wouldn't on the other one I have a Lord Zed?
100%.
It would just look super dope.
Yeah.
Because I was going to do the Green Ranger, but no, because Zed is one of my favorite villains of all time. Still to this day, is badass.
Yeah.
Even though he ended up becoming like a little Rita bitch later down the line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For him to bow out to King Mondo, come on. King Mondo was trash.
He just looked cool.
I'm surprised we haven't had a Mondo figure yet. We haven't had a lot out of those seasons.
Except for the Rangers. Zeo, we almost have all the Rangers. You got the Cogs.
Yeah, well, they're dropping another cog, bro.
Yeah, so
we already got the fucking 2-pack, and I just got that in the mail like a couple weeks ago. I'm so happy that they keep delaying because I would be so broke.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But actually, we'll probably give you an update on the Hasbro's down the road because there's some more coming.
Well, also we're doing the comic now too, so the comic goes with the shoot the shit. So and we'll dive down more into that.
Yep. But yeah, so overall, SPD is a must-watch. I think it's probably one of the American ones. It's 100% must-watch.
I'm scared for it though.
Yeah.
I kind of hope Sentai flops a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because we have
2.
Yeah, 2 that were almost there.
2. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not good for
America. I think it's Time Force. This
candy-coated westernized
It's Time Force
world.
and Space.
Yeah, Time Force. But Time Force Sentai is really fucking
I think
good.
those are only 2 that... No. Time Force didn't win. I think it was Space.
And Ninja Storm. I think Ninja Storm beat it.
Yeah, and Ninja Storm.
Yeah, Ninja Storm beat it.
Yeah. It was Space and Ninja Storm.
Which, good for me, because that was my ranking number 1 for a long time.
Yeah. So...
And I like I said, I wanted to save that for this.
Yeah.
Because SPD did beat.
And actually, funny shit is, shout outs to Louis Beans, the guy that produced our podcast, and also my partner in the Guest Brothers for Wrestling Babble. This is also his favorite season.
Well, he's got taste.
Yeah, 100% SPD. He hated season 3 of Power Rangers.
I mean,
he was very interested.
I think the Power Rangers themselves hated that shit.
It's funny because
who the hell wants a figure of Tommy as a cowboy? I don't.
I know people that do.
I wouldn't mind the Arcturians. Octarians.
I want the ninja.
They just flopped so bad with
Kaku Rangers,
with like fucking Billy and all that, and it's just like it was just like let's rush these guys out because we don't know if we're gonna ever do this again.
Yeah. And then the ending of S.P.D. was fantastic with the A squad versus the B squad, and that fight was freaking epic. How it ended with Jack going back to
it's very cinematic.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, again, the whole thing with Kruger asking Sky again, will you follow this person if they led the team? If they follow this person, you led the team. And then knowing in the comic books, he becomes Kruger. He takes Kruger's spot, and then actually
Kruger becomes Birdie.
And then actually,
he becomes Birdie.
In the Once a Ranger episode on Operation Overdrive, Bridge comes back as the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it all comes out, and this is something I like about this is the fact that they're still going on, like there's still new Rangers. So basically, like down the road, there's going to be a new League of Rangers.
They knew they had something here.
Exactly. So that's something I always loved about the series, and that's something that I'm actually happy about it. Check out. I was telling you the Power Rangers Soul of the Dragon. That's the issue.
Yeah, I know what it is. I still haven't watched it.
With J.J. Oliver, which he becomes the green S.P.D. Ranger. That's actually a really good one, and actually kind of continues the storyline of S.P.D. if you want to actually check it out. All right. So yeah, this is definitely this took my number one spot. This would be number one. I think honestly, if I really had to like pro and con Space and Ninja Storm together, because I think one is going to be 2, one is going to be 3, and I'm not sure 100% which one. Mighty Morphin's 5. Mighty Morphin slowly goes down on my list.
For what?
Of the best series.
Because first season?
The first season. Oh shit. The first season. Season 1. Because season 2, half of it was good. And the other half just went to shit.
Well, who's your 1?
My number 1 would be S.P.D.
And then who's your 2?
Right now is between Ninja Storm and Space. I think I have to pro and con it outside the cast, and then I'll see. I think it's gonna be Space is gonna be number 2, just the fact that I liked Andros a lot.
I feel like we should have a cast where we do showdowns between them.
You know what we could do, as we think about it.
Which we always brew up on the spot.
Yeah, I know. We always brew up on the spot, and then we're like, "Fuck it, the cast we gotta do now." What we could do?
It'll be part of the shoot the shit episode.
Yeah.
You know,
what we could do is we probably like once we're pretty far into the Disney one, we could do a bracket of Saban, Disney, and make a tournament.
Yeah, it'd be Mortal Kombat.
But we need a third person.
Yeah, an unbiased opinion
to make it to sway
Louis
with
Beans, man.
Yeah, so Louis Beans or even Tilla Max.
Yeah, we could probably get shouts to Tilla Max, man.
So we could probably get a third opinion or even a fourth opinion.
I would love for Tilla Max to get more involved in this.
But we cannot we need a tiebreaker. So we both agreed and like that. But we need that one extra one just in case we need a tiebreaker. Yeah. So we'll think about that. We'll come with something up. It'll be fun.
I mean, I just think it's a cool idea. You know what I mean? If we're gonna do the pros and cons between them, you might as well do Showdown and Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean?
Because actually watching it this time around with Ninja Storm, Luthor became like one of my favorite characters because throughout that whole series he's just fucking hilarious.
But then Mesogog was just very demonic.
Mesogog was good,
and then Grum was like both of them together.
You know what's crazy is that I gotta go back to our villain cast.
Well, we're gonna redo that eventually
because I don't remember our countdown or our top. I know our henchman. I think it was Decker or Zanaku number 1.
Zanaku overpowers Decker.
Because Decker was fucking dope.
No, see, Zanaku, I remember he was down 6 on my list. Okay. I remember that. But I gotta go listen because I haven't touched back.
Cliptor is high.
Yeah, well,
and this dude, Darkhandra. Yeah,
come on, you know what I mean? Goldar's in there.
Yeah. I think that was why Space was so big thing to Darkhandra.
Darkhandra was fucking demonic as shit.
The Dick, and then the Psycho Rangers.
But that's also what made Space kind of not like the Sentai.
Been more darker. Yeah.
If they utilized Darkhandra in the way that they did it in America, that would have shitted on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like if they had like Astronema and like part of that story, but they didn't.
All right. So, yeah, this is our revisit of Power Rangers S.P.D. I guess we'll wrap this up. Thank you for listening. This is the MorphinCast. We'll be back again. The next cast will be on the Super Sentai Deca Ranger. So, I'm excited to actually watch that. I think it's going to be really cool. We're going to wrap this up. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, all Merc with the Mic. Follow Red Cycle Inc. on SoundCloud, Twitter, Instagram, WordPress, and YouTube.
I don't even know what WordPress is.
It's like a thing that you can put pictures and things like that. And like that.
It's like a Pinterest?
He also posts the podcast and things like that. So that's
I had no clue
WordPress and things like that.
It's like Reddit and stuff like that.
All Red Cyclone Inc. Follow our Facebook pages, the Red Cyclone Inc. and the Wrestling Babble pages. We are very active on there, so check those out. And follow Tenacious T.
Yes, you can follow me on Tenacious T RC Inc. On Twitter. Getting a little bit more active on there. I'm starting to dive down into the VV universe. So if you're into Marvel and DC and all things kind of pop culture-y and an NFT blockchain, check that out because that is what has been consuming my money and my time lately. Yep. So follow me on there. You can follow me on my newly named regular Instagram page of Tots Guap. Yep. Just don't even ask me about it. It's an inside joke with me and my brother, but hit me up on there. Hit me, come to Grand Central and bullshit with us all day because the only thing that we don't like to do besides more than podcasting is not fucking work and get paid for it. Always a shouts out to Game On, retro video game store based out on Long Island in 2 separate locations, and now has announced a third location out in Patchogue. So the original home place is in Miller Place, the other one's in Smithtown, and now in Patchogue, which I got to hit up Tristan and talk to him because I told him that I would help him out, and I kind of hope that he would accept my gracious,
He can finally pick up that Warrior game.
Well, somebody just smashed out the window already, and the store hasn't even opened up. See, because the problem is it's down a strip. Okay. It's like a party town. So it's like... It's smart for daytime, but for nighttime, it's not good. Yeah. Because it's just a bunch of drunk kids. Yeah. And I used to be one of them. So I know. Exactly. But good for you, brother. Branching out, you are doing great. Congratulations to you. Shouts out to Mind of an Artist. He came out with his own clothing line called Drugs and Demons. Check out that on Instagram and everything else. Shouts out to the Max.
That's it.
Follow listen to our other casts.
Yes. The Not a Trekkie, the Game of Rage, the Shell Shock, and our weekly podcast of It Gets Better It's Rare podcast, and the Wrestling Babble. We have a lot for Wrestling Babble, so tomorrow it's a lot of
4-hour pay-per-views.
Oh god! And then I have a pay-per-view tonight too.
You can see his eyes roll, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, I as much as you think we watch a lot of Power Rangers, that's nothing compared to watching weekly. Well,
that's
16 hours.
That's a multiple day weekly thing.
18 hours of fucking wrestling.
It's a multiple day weekly thing.
But I enjoy it.
But then you have 3-4 different shows on.
I watch everything.
You know what I mean? AEW, you got AEW. SmackDown, you got Raw. And like me being with you, I'm getting sucked into this world now.
You're enjoying it. You like...
Yeah, but it's like it's intriguing me.
Yeah.
To the point that I follow it a little bit.
No, 100%. I'm glad. I enjoyed the fact that you're interested in just looking at it, and that's what I try to do. Franklin got more into it too. Shouts out to
Renoso.
Yeah, Renoso enjoying his vacation.
Shouts out, fuck you. You're still excluded, bastard.
My buddy. All right, peace out, laters, and always remember, fuck Zordon.
Fuck Zordon.
And follow Jinkies.
Yeah, just don't feed him.
Yeah, don't feed him and fuck Zordon.
Can we give him a sandwich once for all the things that he does for us? Something?
No.
Can we give him a cookie?
No.
Nothing?
You got
a cookie?
Just be careful where you